Good evening and welcome back to News 11. I'm Katie Lee.
And I'm Chloe Kowalik. Katie, usually you're on the other side of the camera, but today you're on this side. How do you feel?
I've decided to come back on camera, so.
I love it. I love that for you.
It's a little different, but.
Yes.
Let's get into it. So, the city of Dunkirk has invested millions of dollars into its waterfront, and the hard work is finally being recognized. There have been major upgrades to the pier and the storefronts along it. Wright Park has also been built, which includes a pickleball court, volleyball net, playground, and splash pad. Leaders throughout the state have been making the trip down to Dunkirk to see for themselves. Some officials have even gotten a few ideas they hope to implement into their own towns. The legislature for Orleans County, John Fitzak, said he wanted to see how people have done things to prosper and see if we can capitalize and instead reinventing the wheel. He went on to say that he wanted to see if he would be able to modify some of Dunkirk's recent upgrades and apply it to his own district.
A Batavia event recently had a great turnout. Glow with Your Hands, a hands-on career exploration event, saw over 1,000 students from 30 districts this year. Students had the chance to learn about advanced manufacturing, agriculture, food production, and skilled trade sectors. Over 65 organizations were represented at the event. Glow with Your Hands is geared towards students in Genesee, Livingston, Orleans, and Wyoming County. One student from Warsaw, Jack Frazier, said, quote, "It is really cool that all of these businesses come out and interact with us for the whole day. We get to see equipment that is used day to day. I learned about so many careers and skills that I was not aware of before today," end quote.
Have you been looking for a nice dinner to attend with friends? Look no further than Ellicott Streetville in Buffalo. The Kevin Guest House will be hosting a farm-to-table style fundraiser dinner. Lake Life Cafe will be catering the event for the long table family style dinner. The proceeds will go towards housing families traveling for medical purposes in Buffalo. Tickets can be purchased online, individually, or in groups for the in-person dinner. There is also an option to purchase tickets for an at-home experience so you can pick up your meal and enjoy the comfort of your own home. This event is this Saturday, the 30th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. with live music.
Looking for something fun to do on our upcoming fall break? The Buffalo Riverworks is hosting an Autumn Chalk Fest that might just bring out the artist in you. On September 8th and 9th, everyone is invited to come out and see chalk art done by talented artists. Everyone will also have the chance to check out the zip lines, Ferris wheel, different vendors, and the live music event. The event is free to attend, and artists are encouraged to sign up at chalkfestbuffalo.com. There will be a cash prize for some of the chalk artists. The Chalk Fest will be from noon to 5 each day.
Niagara Nightmares will be opening under a new name this year, the Niagara Pumpkin Farm. Beginning October 1st on 5368 Town Line Road in Sanborn, visitors can go for haunted hay rides, buy pumpkins, and many other fall-themed activities. Owners Kyle and Alicia King said, quote, "There will definitely be something for everyone," end quote. Proceeds from the farm will be donated to Sweet Buffalo Rocks, an organization for children in need.
Buffalo Niagara Film Commissioner Tim Clark is looking at a positive future in New York State's film tax credit program after a tentative deal was reached with the writers of the WGA program. This program can provide up to 40% tax credit for productions filmed in New York depending on its budget and expenses. Clark says that this deal makes filming in New York more lucrative than filming in Atlanta, Georgia, where most filming is taking place now. He says, quote, "It is going to come at least 90 miles per hour," end quote. The film commissioner says that major studios are interested in Western New York for places to film their productions. In recent years, Western New York has been a host of films like Nightmare Alley, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows, and even here in Chautauqua County with A Quiet Place Part 2. He's also said that productions were put on hold because of the writer's strike, and they have been reactivated. So make sure to be on the lookout for major films that have been filmed right here in Western New York.
This past Monday, New York Inspector General officials announced that a former New York State Park employee admitted to stealing thousands of dollars in wages from his employer. Kevin Cotterill admitted to one count of petite larceny after submitting fraudulent timesheets to obtain wages he did not actually work or earn. Cotterill claimed to be working as a New York State Park employee while actually running a private tour company. The Inspector's General Office determined that between September 2016 and February 2020, that Cotterill claimed at least 148 times to be working full days as a New York State Park employee while actually spending the workday in Canada. Officials have said that he was not in any position to perform his state work in Canada, and upon confrontation to Cotterill, he admitted to willfully submitting the inaccurate timesheets and that he was, quote, conducting personal business, both in the United States and Canada, end quote. Kevin Cotterill illegally obtained over $8,000 in wages, and as part of his guilty plea, he will pay $8,539.39 to the state as restitution, and he is scheduled to return to court for his sentencing December 4th. And when we come back, your national stories, including a look at the tentative agreement reached regarding the writer's strike. We'll be right back.
To Sofia and Gabriel, Miss Flores, my little flowers. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love, so you can take me with you wherever you go, near or far. These stitches and threads join us together. Me, your mother, and both of you. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
After 146 days, the writer's strike is almost ready to come to a close. According to NBC talks between the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television, producers resumed last week after months of starts and stops, ultimately leading to a tentative deal that would end the ongoing writer's strike. Once the agreement is fully accepted and ratified, writers will be able to go back to work once again. President Joe Biden said, quote, "This agreement, including assurances related to artificial intelligence, did not come easily," end quote. The Hollywood workers are hoping to improve wages, working conditions, and benefits, and in addition, they are seeking more transparency when it comes to streaming services and the residual payments that they should be receiving for their hard work and contributions.
The United States Federal Trade Commission is suing Amazon. The FTC is alleging that Amazon has been using its market power to warp e-commerce across the internet. The lawsuit is a result of Amazon's alleged ability to, quote, use its size and power to pressure sellers to agree to its terms and warp the prices of goods, end quote. FTC Chair Lena Khan said that there is, quote, immediate harm going on with this situation. David Zapolowski, Amazon's Senior Vice President for Global Public Policy, said in a statement, quote, the practices the FTC is challenging have helped to spur competition and innovation across the retail industry and have proved greater selection, lower prices, and faster delivery speeds for Amazon customers and greater opportunity for the many businesses that sell in Amazon's store, end quote.
Starting in 2024, Uber Eats announced that they will now start accepting food stamps as a form of payment for grocery deliveries. The company announced that customers will be able to order groceries using SNAP and EBT benefits. The company said that they want to reduce the barrier to fresh groceries for those that live in food deserts or have transportation barriers. Uber Eats announced that they will also accept flexible spending account cards and flex cards issued through the managed Medicaid and Medicare Advantage plans. They also plan on rolling out a new AI assistant program and a virtual sales aisle to help customers find deals on groceries. Uber is the first company to also accept healthcare benefit payments for grocery delivery. These changes to the company help reduce inaccessibility for people in need in groceries greatly more than 41.8 million%.
The parents as well as healthcare providers are becoming increasingly worried about the health impacts that extended screen time has on teens. On average, teens receive 237 notifications a day due to the constant stimulating design of social media. The attention spans of teens has severely decreased. Young teens are especially at risk of smartphones' negative impacts because their brains are still developing. Psychiatrists are still observing impaired memory and weakened cognitive ability. In a study conducted with 203 teens, it was found that 97% of the studied population were on their phones during typical school hours, causing distractions in class and decreased productivity.
Poultry companies Tyson and Purdue are under investigation over reports of illegal child labor. They have been accused of hiring young children to work the overnight shift, cleaning the company's plants. The investigation was prompted from an interview of a 14-year-old boy who was tasked with cleaning various machinery, a job that has been deemed illegal by federal law for anyone under the age of 18. After further investigation, it was found that over 1/3 of the overnight shifts consisted of middle and high school aged children. The Wage and Hour Division is currently conducting more investigations before they release an official claim against these companies.
President Joe Biden has recently met with Pacific Island leaders to tell them that climate change impacts on their region. Many leaders met this past Monday for a 2-day summit in Washington. Biden has acknowledged their warnings regarding the changing climate and has begun efforts to provide support to the regions in need. Biden has requested $200 million from Congress to aid in preparation for climate-related disasters and to improve infrastructure. The U.S. is officially forming diplomatic relationships between the Cook Islands and Niue, two nations in the South Pacific. And when we come back, Jenna Polito joins us for our sports update, and yet another new weather anchor is joining News 11. We'll be right back.
When you think of the local lowdown, what do you think of?
Well, when I think of the local lowdown, it's the live music that we have played in the studio.
It's gotta be the laughs we shared. The memorable moments during the whole thing. Oh my God, so fun.
The local lowdown for me is the people behind the scenes, the amazing team that we have making the show.
Oh, it's gotta be exploring all sorts of genres and music I've never heard before.
Oh, easy. Going out to shows and talking to artists and getting the latest news on what they have planned for the future.
It's about these artists, man. Giving them a platform to showcase what they've worked so hard on and show their music to the community. It's all about supporting the local scene of music to keep it running for years to come. And of course, the band merch. You can't forget about the merch.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We're now joined by Jenna Polito, who will be giving us our sports update. What's going on in sports this week, Jenna?
Yesterday, the men's soccer team headed down to challenge the Buffalo State Bengals in their own house. Unfortunately, after a scoreless first half, the Bengals struck twice to beat the Blue Devils and cement a final score of 2-0. Both sides started slow on offense as they combined for just 8 shots on goal in the first half. Fredonia goalkeeper Tanner Stutzman had 6 saves for the night. The Devils will travel to Potsdam on September 30th, facing the Bears. The women's soccer team, who also played the Bengals yesterday night, secured a victory of 7-2 at home. Katie Sellers scored Fredonia's first 3 goals, scoring twice inside the first 10 minutes. Sellers would later add a 4th goal, along with 2 from Bronwyn Madden and another from Bree Grayson. The women's team will be joining the men's soccer team on Saturday, facing the Potsdam Bears. Also on Wednesday, the Fredonia women's tennis team hosted the Damon University Wildcats. The match was hard-fought, but ultimately went to Damon with a final score of 9-0. Doubles 1, 2, and 3 were played by Caitlin Snyder and Bernadette Jens, Lucy Previtt and Sophie Olsen, and Sierra Allen and Takaya Parker. The Blue Devils' final 5 matches are all on the road, with their next match being in Brockport, going head-to-head with the Golden Eagles on Saturday. This week, the Fredonia women's volleyball team dropped both of their matches in a tri-match tournament at Houghton on Saturday, September 23rd. They failed to host Houghton 26-24, 25-23, 17-25, and 25-27. Kylie O'Brien and Gabrielle Sordetto paced the offense with 14 kills each. The Blue Devils won their first set against Alfred State, 25-20, before dropping the next 3, 25-20, 25-11, and 25-18. The Devils now stand at 2-11 on the season, but they are looking to collect another win at home this coming Saturday, facing SUNY New Paltz. And finally, the Buffalo Bills are celebrating from a 37-3 victory this Sunday over the Washington Commanders. Josh Allen was 20 for 32 for 218 yards, including a 35-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Gabe Davis. Allen added 3 carries and a 10-yard rush into the end zone for a touchdown of his own, giving him a total of 46 rushing yards. The final touchdowns were scored by running back Latavius Murray and defensive end AJ Epinesa off of an interception. The Bills' defense also had an explosive performance. The defense sacked quarterback Sam Howell 9 times and had 4 interceptions by Terrell Bernard, Micah Hyde, Tre'Davious White, and AJ Epinesa. Bernard had an especially stellar game, becoming the first NFL player with 2 or more sacks, an interception, and a fumble recovery in a single game since 2007, earning him the honor of AFC Defensive Player of the Week. The Bills will be back at home on Sunday to play their AFC East rival, the Miami Dolphins. Miami is undefeated so far this season, coming off of a historic 70-point game, but we are all hoping once again to squish the fish.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about football, but I didn't know that the Washington Commanders were from Washington, D.C. I thought they were from like the state, Washington.
Yeah, so from Washington State, that's actually the Seattle Seahawks. I definitely think they should make more of a distinction, maybe like put the D.C. in there, make it Maryland, but yeah, they've been through a lot of names. It used to be the Washington football team, and now it's the Commanders.
Yeah, my roommate was giving me the rundown. But we're now joined by another new face for News 11, Jackson. And how's the weather, Jackson?
Yeah, Katie, happy to be here. Some pretty nice weather ahead. Not too shabby for today, as I'm sure you noticed, though, some of those clouds and a few rain showers built in over the past few hours. Now, we still have a few chances for some brief periods of rain over the next 12 to 18 hours or so. That'll be due to a low pressure system that's moving by just to our south tonight and tomorrow morning. Otherwise, though, mostly cloudy for your to start off your Friday, I should say. But those clouds should clear up by the time we head into the afternoon and evening, making way for some sunshine, and pretty seasonable as well, with highs in the upper 60s to the low 70s. Now, that nice weather will continue for the weekend and into next week. I'll have the details coming up in just a bit.
Thank you so much, Jackson. Well, when we come back, we have our international headlines. We'll be right back.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers. the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Every day.
Millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles, watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward. Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
The United States and Kenya have entered a defense agreement. The U.S. will be helping the East African nation gather resources and will have security deployments to help lead a multinational peacekeeping mission. The goal is to combat gang violence in Haiti. The agreement also comes in reaction to the ongoing war in East Africa against the al-Qaeda-linked al-Shabaab extremist group. Kenya has pledged 1,000 security officers to Haiti to help combat gang violence. The United States is working to secure $100 million in funding to help fund the anti-violence movement.
A group of Ukrainian engineers and special forces soldiers have tested what they believe will be a game changer in the Ukrainian counter-offense. It's known as the Pola's M16 combat kayak. Ukraine has 2 seas and around 3,000 rivers, so kayaks like the Polo's M16 are a must-have for the ongoing invasion with Russia. Serhil, CEO of the company that produces the kayak, says, quote, Polo's M16 is similar to what the American and British soldiers have been using, but it's 10 times cheaper, end quote. The kayak is designed not for assault, but rather for cover operations. It's quiet, lightweight, and maneuverable, with the being able to carry up to 3 people or around 550 pounds. It's also durable and made of material able to experience extreme weather, temperatures, and mechanical damage, and last 50 years or longer. What makes the kayak a combat kayak is the Ukrainian-produced grenade launcher mounted in the bow, which can fire a projectile at a distance of up to just over a mile while still keeping the kayak stable in the water.
In Stockholm, Sweden, 2 powerful explosions ripped through the dwellings. Just outside of the capital city, one explosion happened late Monday night in the suburb of Hässelby. The other explosion was in Linköping, a city 120 miles outside of Stockholm. It is believed that these explosions were gang-related, but it is unsure whether or not the explosions are linked to each other. Following the explosions, the Swedish government said it will hold a meeting to identify the measures to fight the gang violence that can be quickly implemented. Sweden's ministers for justice and civil defense will participate along with the other authorities. This includes representatives of the Scandinavian countries, municipalities, and regions. And now when we come back, your trending stories. Plus, Jackson joins us for your weekend weather. We'll be right back.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
It's difficult to know if Hollywood superstar Bruce Willis is aware that he is suffering from frontotemporal dementia, otherwise known as FTD. However, his wife, Emma Helming Willis, has given an update on his condition. She said that it is hard to know whether her husband realizes his current condition. One of the main things FTD affects is self-insight, and therefore some people tend to lose understanding that they themselves have changed. Hemming Willis also went on to say that they have been very honest and open with their two daughters and have been explaining things from a medical standpoint. On a more positive note, Hemming Willis has said that throughout everything, Bruce has remained extremely strong and that he is filled with love, patience, and resilience.
Shakira is facing trouble in Spain as prosecutors in Barcelona accused her of neglecting to pay $7.1 million in taxes on income back in 2018. Reports say that she was notified of the accusation in Miami, where she is currently residing with her two sons. Shakira's legal team responded with, quote, "No notification has been received in Miami," the singer's official address, about the lawsuit in relation to the 2018 financial year, end quote. Between 2012 and 2014, Shakira was also accused of tax evasion, claiming she failed to pay $4 million in taxes. The trial for the 2012 and 2014 reports will be on November 20th.
The 2024 Super Bowl performer Usher has expressed that the opportunity to play at this event is a dream come true. He has been giving his best for 30 years in the industry, and he is being rewarded by the experience of a lifetime. Usher said he was in disbelief when he received the call from Jay-Z with the offer. He believes that him, his children, and fans have spoken this into existence through petitions and support. Usher plans on finding the perfect selection of his hits for the millions of viewers. The 8-time Grammy winner will be holding his performance to the standard of all the icons that have played on the stage before him. You can see him perform on February 11, 2024 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas or on CBS. So, now we're going to toss it to Jackson one more time tonight for the weekend weather. Jackson, how's it looking for the weekend?
Yeah, you know, after we get through this little disturbance that we'll have over the next, again, 12 to 18 hours, we should be looking really great weather-wise this weekend. You know, tomorrow morning, again, we could still have some clouds, maybe a few showers, but then high pressure builds into the area over the next couple days. You'll see, you know, mostly sunny over Friday and into Saturday, and pretty seasonable temperatures as well in the low to mid 70s. And those temperatures just go up and up and up as we head into throughout the weekend and into the beginning of next week. You'll see Monday into the mid to almost upper 70s as well. Those low temperatures, though, you'll notice are pretty cool, and that's what we can expect as we head to winter. I hate to say the W word like that, but you know, if you're headed out in the evening or anything, you might want to bring a sweater because you will find it to be pretty chilly. But you know, really great weather ahead, so get out and enjoy it if you can. Chloe, Katie.
Thank you so much, Jackson. That does it for News 11. Thank you so much to our behind-the-scenes crew. We'll be back in 2 Thursdays from now, actually.
And of course, thank you to everyone watching at home. Have a great night.